Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today about a topic that I believe is central to living a fulfilling and balanced life, the 5 things we should never sacrifice for anyone. Too often, in our desire to please others, to maintain relationships, or to achieve success, we end up giving away parts of ourselves. But there are some things we should hold on to no matter what, no matter who asks, no matter what the situation. Self-respect is fundamentally the acknowledgement and honoring of one's intrinsic worth and values. It is not about arrogance or an inflated sense of self, rather. It is about maintaining a foundation of integrity, setting healthy boundaries, and understanding what is fundamentally non-negotiable for one's own well-being. In any relationship, whether it's with friends, family, partners, or colleagues, self-respect is the cornerstone that allows us to navigate life with authenticity, purpose, and resilience. When self-respect is compromised, we lose our sense of self-worth, which inevitably impacts how we see ourselves and how others perceive and treat us. When we understand this, we come to realize that self-respect is something we should never sacrifice for anyone. Self-respect, at its core, means valuing oneself enough to know when to say no. Often, people struggle with saying no to others out of fear of rejection or being disliked. However, by always putting others' needs ahead of our own, we gradually erode our self-worth. Self-respect requires us to make decisions that align with our values, even if it means risking temporary disappointment from others. People who genuinely care about us will respect our boundaries. Those who don't might push back. But ultimately, preserving self-respect should always come first. The desire to please others can lead us to compromise our values and lose sight of who we are. It can start subtly, a minor favor here, bending a bit there. Yet over time, without realizing it, we can find ourselves in situations where we're doing things that feel entirely against our nature. Self-respect is what allows us to hold firm in our values and make choices that resonate with our true selves. We become more assertive in what we accept, whether it's treatment from others, demands on our time, or what we tolerate in our relationships. If we give up our self-respect, we risk losing the clarity of what truly matters, and this can lead to feelings of resentment, guilt, and frustration. Another essential aspect of self-respect is honesty with oneself and with others. It's about acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses and being comfortable with both. Many people find it difficult to be open about who they really are, often because of fear of judgment. But self-respect encourages us to embrace all aspects of ourselves and show up authentically in our interactions. When we are honest, we don't feel the need to apologize for our beliefs, opinions, or mistakes. This honesty fosters respect from others as well, because people are more likely to respect those who have a clear sense of identity and aren't afraid to stand by it. Honesty about who we are is fundamental to building strong, lasting relationships that are based on mutual respect and understanding. Respecting ourselves also means recognizing our worth independent of others' opinions. In a world where social media, peer pressure, and cultural expectations can sometimes make us feel inadequate or unworthy, self-respect serves as a safeguard. It reminds us that our worth isn't defined by the validation of others, but rather by our own standards and values. When we look inward and validate ourselves, we become less reliant on external approval. This makes us more resilient in the face of criticism, rejection, or setbacks, as we learn to rely on our own opinions rather than seeking constant reassurance from others. Self-respect also drives the standards we set for how we are treated by others. People who respect themselves tend to expect respect from others as well, and they are often unwilling to accept treatment that falls short of this. They won't allow themselves to be mistreated, manipulated, or taken for granted. They understand that their time, energy, and emotions are valuable, and they surround themselves with people who recognize and appreciate these qualities. By contrast, when we lack self-respect, we are more prone to tolerating poor behavior from others. This can lead to toxic relationships where one person's needs are consistently neglected, leading to a cycle of unhappiness and lowered self-esteem. Setting and maintaining these standards is a crucial way that self-respect manifests in everyday life. It's also important to acknowledge that self-respect doesn't mean perfection or never making mistakes. Everyone has moments of doubt or times when they fall short of their ideals. The difference is that people with self-respect can acknowledge these moments without losing faith in themselves. They recognize that mistakes are a natural part of growth and that learning from them only strengthens their sense of self-worth. Rather than allowing mistakes to diminish their self-esteem, they use them as opportunities for growth. In this way, self-respect is also closely tied to self-compassion, the understanding that we deserve kindness from ourselves just as much as from others. By practicing self-compassion, we reinforce our self-respect, reminding ourselves that we are valuable and worthy of grace. Ultimately, self-respect empowers us to make choices that lead to genuine fulfillment. It frees us from the constraints of constantly trying to meet others' expectations or gain their approval. When we respect ourselves, we naturally gravitate toward what enriches our lives and supports our well-being. This doesn't mean disregarding others' needs or being selfish. It simply means acknowledging that our own needs matter too. We're more willing to take risks for our happiness, pursue goals that matter to us, and live authentically because we know that we are deserving of these things. Self-respect is an unwavering belief in one's own worth, and it is essential for a balanced, healthy life. It's about saying no when we need to, standing firm in our values, and refusing to compromise our boundaries. It's about honoring who we are and recognizing our intrinsic value, regardless of what others think. By never sacrificing our self-respect, we create a life that aligns with our values and fosters relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and genuine connection. We owe it to ourselves to hold on to self-respect because in the end, it's the key to living with integrity, peace, and a true sense of self. Dreams and goals are the heartbeats of our ambitions, the guiding stars that keep us moving forward. They give our lives purpose, direction, and a sense of possibility, reminding us of what we're truly capable of achieving. Without them, life would often feel routine or empty. Our dreams and goals are not just aspirations for personal fulfillment, they are expressions of our unique potential, values, and purpose. Sacrificing them for anyone, no matter the reason or relationship, risks leaving us feeling unfulfilled, and in the long term can lead to regret and disconnection from our truest selves. Every dream, big or small, carries within it a personal meaning. Some dreams may seem trivial to others, but hold great value to us because they resonate with our passions and aspirations. These dreams make us excited, give us hope, and help us envision a future that is both rewarding and deeply satisfying. When we compromise these dreams to meet someone else's expectations or desires, we risk eroding that part of ourselves that thrives on purpose and creativity. It's crucial to protect our dreams because they often serve as a compass showing us where we want to go and who we want to become. They remind us of the heights we can reach and the fulfillment we can experience if we dare to pursue them. However, dreams require dedication, focus, and often some level of sacrifice. They may ask us to stretch beyond our comfort zones, learn new skills, take calculated risks, or put in long hours of work. The journey towards fulfilling our dreams is rarely easy, and that is precisely why they are worth protecting. Challenges and obstacles are inevitable, but these difficulties serve as powerful teachers. They teach us resilience, perseverance, and self-discipline, making the rewards of achievement even more meaningful. When we sacrifice our dreams, we deny ourselves the opportunity to grow through these experiences and to understand the strength and capabilities we possess. In essence, we limit our potential by choosing to set aside our own aspirations for someone else. Protecting our goals is not selfish, in fact. It is a necessary part of living an authentic life. When we prioritize our dreams, we affirm our own importance and validate our unique vision. Unfortunately, it's easy to fall into the trap of placing other people's needs and expectations above our own goals. This can happen in close relationships where we want to be supportive and available for the people we care about. But it's important to recognize that putting our dreams on hold indefinitely or giving them up entirely to please someone else often leads to dissatisfaction and resentment in the long run. True friends, family, and partners will encourage us to pursue our dreams rather than to ask us to abandon them. There's also a powerful sense of identity tied to our dreams and goals. Our aspirations reflect who we are and who we want to become. They highlight our passions, interests, and talents, and they help us define what we value most. By pursuing our goals, we cultivate a stronger sense of self, which in turn builds confidence and self-worth. When we sacrifice these ambitions, we risk losing touch with our identity. Over time, we may feel that something is missing, leading to a sense of emptiness or disconnection. In many ways, holding on to our dreams is a way of holding on to ourselves, maintaining our individuality and honoring our unique contributions to the world. Often, pursuing our dreams requires us to step away from the familiar and face the unknown. This can be intimidating, especially if we are used to a certain level of stability and comfort. Yet this process of taking risks, confronting fears, and exploring new possibilities is incredibly rewarding. Achieving our goals teaches us valuable lessons about our own potential and our ability to overcome adversity. It shows us that we are capable of much more than we may have initially believed. When we sacrifice these dreams, we may miss out on experiences that could help us grow, both personally and professionally. We limit our horizons, and we deny ourselves the chance to see how far we can truly go. It's also worth considering that our dreams and goals often extend beyond personal fulfillment. They have the potential to impact others in meaningful ways. Many people dream of helping others, making a difference in their communities, or creating something of lasting value. When we pursue these dreams, we inspire others and contribute to the world around us. By abandoning our dreams, we lose the opportunity to leave a positive mark on others and to create change that could benefit future generations. In this sense, holding on to our dreams is not only an act of self-empowerment, but also a commitment to making the world a better place, even if only in small ways. Additionally, our dreams can evolve over time, but they always serve as a powerful motivator, pushing us to aim higher and work harder. Even if we don't achieve every goal exactly as we imagined, the pursuit itself is transformative. Each step we take towards our dreams enriches our lives with experiences, insights, and lessons that shape who we are. By sacrificing our goals, we not only risk future regrets, but also miss out on the journey, the ups and downs, the discoveries and the achievements, big or small. It is in the pursuit that we often find meaning and purpose, and this journey is as valuable as the destination itself. In relationships, pursuing our dreams and goals while respecting those of others can create an environment of mutual support and respect. Healthy relationships encourage both partners to grow individually and together, allowing each person to follow their path while supporting one another. When we compromise our dreams to please someone else, we can inadvertently create an imbalance, leading to dependency and unmet expectations. By staying true to our goals, we model healthy boundaries and inspire those around us to do the same, fostering relationships built on mutual understanding and shared growth. In conclusion, our dreams and goals are vital parts of who we are. They inspire us, challenge us, and help us grow. They give us purpose, direction, and fulfillment. Sacrificing them for anyone else, regardless of how well-intentioned, ultimately takes us away from our true path. By honoring our dreams, we are honoring our unique potential and embracing the life we are meant to live. Holding on to our goals is not just about personal achievement, it's about living a life aligned with our values, passions, and vision for the future. Pursuing our dreams is one of the greatest acts of self-respect, and it is a gift we owe to ourselves and to the world. Health and well-being are the cornerstones of a fulfilling life, serving as the foundation for all our other pursuits, from work and relationships to personal goals and growth. When we are physically, mentally, and emotionally well, we're better equipped to face life's challenges and embrace its opportunities. Yet, health and well-being are often the first sacrifices we make, whether to meet the demands of work, relationships, or social expectations. It's easy to neglect self-care, thinking we'll make time for it later, but this later often never arrives. Taking health and well-being for granted is a dangerous trap, and sacrificing them can lead to long-term consequences, both for ourselves and for the people who care about us. Physical health is an essential part of well-being, encompassing more than just the absence of illness. It's about nurturing our bodies with good nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate rest so that we feel energized, resilient, and capable. However, many of us push our bodies to the limit to meet deadlines, achieve career goals, or keep up with a hectic lifestyle. We may skip meals, get by on too little sleep, or rely on caffeine and sugar to stay alert. In the short term, these habits may seem harmless, but over time, they can lead to serious health issues, such as chronic fatigue, weakened immune function, and an increased risk of illness. Our bodies are not machines, they need rest and recovery to function optimally. Prioritizing physical health isn't just about preventing illness, but about empowering ourselves to live actively, age well, and maintain vitality. Mental and emotional well-being are equally crucial to a balanced and fulfilling life. Just as our bodies need care, so do our minds and emotions. In a fast-paced, high-stress world, many people experience anxiety, depression, and burnout, often as a result of neglecting their mental health. Society sometimes stigmatizes mental health issues or portrays them as signs of weakness, causing many to suffer in silence. But mental well-being isn't just about avoiding mental illness, it's about cultivating resilience, self-awareness, and emotional balance. When we make time for mental health through practices like mindfulness, therapy, relaxation, or simply setting boundaries, we build a strong mental foundation that enables us to handle stress and make thoughtful, balanced decisions. Sacrificing mental well-being for anyone or anything not only puts us at risk, but also makes it difficult to show up fully in our lives. An essential part of mental well-being is managing stress, which if left unchecked can impact every area of health. Chronic stress has been linked to a wide range of physical problems, from cardiovascular issues and weakened immunity to digestive problems and sleep disorders. On an emotional level, it can contribute to feelings of overwhelm, irritability, and even despair. Sacrificing time for relaxation, hobbies, and leisure activities may seem like a necessity when faced with a busy schedule, but it's actually essential to keep our stress levels in check. Taking even a few minutes each day to engage in stress-relieving activities, whether it's meditation, going for a walk, or reading, can have a significant impact on our overall well-being. This time is not wasted. It's an investment in our mental and physical health. It allows us to be more productive, focused, and happy in the long run. Physical and mental well-being are deeply interconnected. One often affects the other. For example, poor physical health can contribute to feelings of depression or anxiety, while high stress and poor mental health can lead to physical symptoms such as fatigue, headaches, or even chronic illness. When we prioritize our health, we're creating a positive cycle where physical vitality supports mental clarity, and mental well-being boosts our energy and physical resilience. Sacrificing one for the sake of the other is, therefore, counterproductive. True well-being requires a holistic approach, recognizing that our physical and mental health are two sides of the same coin. Setting boundaries is a critical part of protecting our health and well-being. Whether it's in relationships, work, or social settings, boundaries help us avoid overextending ourselves. It can be difficult to say no, especially when we feel obligated to please others or meet high expectations. But when we constantly put others' needs above our own, we risk burnout and resentment. Healthy boundaries allow us to balance giving and receiving, ensuring that we have the energy and capacity to be there for others while also caring for ourselves. Saying no when we need to is not selfish. It's an act of self-respect and self-care that allows us to preserve our health in the long term. Sleep, nutrition, and physical activity are three pillars of health that are often sacrificed first. Sleep, in particular, is essential for our bodies and minds to recover and recharge. Yet, in a culture that values productivity and busy schedules, sleep is often undervalued. People skip hours of rest to work, socialize, or simply keep up with their to-do lists. However, chronic sleep deprivation impairs cognitive function, memory, and mood, and it increases the risk of various health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Prioritizing sleep is one of the most effective ways to support both mental and physical health, enhancing our ability to focus, cope with stress, and maintain overall well-being. Proper nutrition fuels our bodies, providing the energy and nutrients needed to function optimally. However, it's easy to neglect nutrition when we're busy, often opting for convenience foods or skipping meals. Over time, poor eating habits can lead to low energy, weight fluctuations, and nutrient deficiencies that impact overall health. Taking time to prepare balanced meals and make healthy food choices is essential to well-being, allowing us to feel our best and maintain energy throughout the day. Regular physical activity is another crucial component of health, offering benefits that extend beyond fitness. Exercise releases endorphins, improves mood, and reduces stress, making it a powerful tool for both physical and mental health. Despite its benefits, many people struggle to fit exercise into their schedules, especially if they're balancing work, family, and other commitments. However, making time for even small amounts of daily physical activity can significantly improve health and well-being, enhancing quality of life and resilience against illness and stress. Ultimately, maintaining our health and well-being isn't just about living longer, but about living well. It's about having the energy, resilience, and clarity to pursue our goals, enjoy meaningful relationships, and make a positive impact. Sacrificing our health for anyone, even with good intentions, does a disservice not only to ourselves, but also to those we care about. When we neglect our well-being, we become less capable of supporting others, engaging fully, or realizing our potential. In conclusion, health and well-being are invaluable and irreplaceable. Prioritizing them is not a luxury, but a necessity, an essential part of leading a balanced and fulfilling life. When we care for our health, we are in a better position to care for others, to achieve our goals, and to live with joy and purpose. Instead of seeing self-care as selfish, we must recognize it as the foundation that enables us to live our lives fully. By valuing and protecting our health, we are investing in a life that allows us to thrive, grow, and contribute meaningfully, honoring both ourselves and those around us. Authenticity is a fundamental element of a fulfilling and meaningful life. It's about living in alignment with our true selves, embracing our unique qualities, and being honest with ourselves and others. When we are authentic, we honor our beliefs, values, and emotions without feeling the need to conform or hide parts of ourselves to please others. Authenticity gives us the freedom to express ourselves genuinely, which leads to greater self-acceptance and deeper connections with others. Sacrificing authenticity for anyone, no matter how well-intentioned, leads to a life that feels shallow and unfulfilling, creating a disconnect between who we are and how we live. At its core, authenticity is about self-awareness, knowing who we are, what we stand for, and what we truly desire. It requires us to be honest about our values, beliefs, and preferences. Authenticity doesn't mean being perfect. It means acknowledging both our strengths and our weaknesses, embracing our quirks, and understanding our passions. By being authentic, we show up in the world as our true selves instead of presenting a facade. This level of self-awareness allows us to make decisions that are in line with our core beliefs, leading to a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling. When we compromise authenticity to meet someone else's expectations, we start living someone else's version of success or happiness, which ultimately distances us from the sense of satisfaction that comes from honoring our own truth. Authenticity also involves vulnerability, the willingness to be seen as we are, with all our imperfections. Vulnerability can be challenging, especially in a world that often values perfectionism and rewards those who conform to societal norms. Many people fear that showing their true selves will lead to rejection, criticism, or judgment, which is why they feel pressured to hide parts of themselves or to act in ways that don't reflect their inner selves. However, vulnerability is a key component of authenticity because it allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. When we are authentic, we attract people who appreciate us for who we are, fostering genuine relationships based on trust and acceptance rather than pretense. When we sacrifice authenticity, we deny others the opportunity to know and love us for our true selves. In relationships, authenticity is the foundation of trust and intimacy. Being open and genuine creates a safe space for others to do the same, encouraging meaningful connections that enrich our lives. On the other hand, when we constantly adjust ourselves to fit others' expectations, we may attract people who are drawn to the facade we present rather than our real selves. This can lead to relationships that feel shallow or unsatisfying because they lack genuine understanding and acceptance. By staying true to ourselves, we attract people who align with our values and who appreciate us for who we are, leading to more fulfilling and lasting relationships. Authenticity is not only essential in personal relationships, but also in our careers and creative pursuits. When we pursue work or hobbies that align with our passions and values, we experience a sense of joy, motivation, and fulfillment that drives us to excel. However, many people feel pressure to pursue certain career paths or conform to specific standards because of societal expectations or the desire to please others. When we sacrifice our authenticity in this way, we risk feeling disconnected from our work, which can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a sense of unfulfillment. Conversely, when we honor our unique talents, skills, and interests, we bring a sense of purpose and enthusiasm to our work, making it more meaningful and enjoyable. An authentic life also empowers us to make decisions that reflect our values, rather than being swayed by external pressures or the opinions of others. When we are clear about who we are less likely to compromise our beliefs or make choices that feel inauthentic. This sense of alignment creates a foundation of self-respect and integrity, allowing us to live in a way that feels right, rather than simply following the crowd or seeking approval. By staying true to our values, we develop a stronger sense of identity and inner peace, knowing that we are living a life that reflects our true selves. Authenticity encourages growth and self-discovery. When we are true to ourselves, we are open to exploring our passions, challenging ourselves, and expanding our horizons. Authenticity allows us to learn from our mistakes and embrace our imperfections, viewing them as opportunities for growth rather than sources of shame. When we are authentic, we can look inward, assess our choices, and make changes that support our growth and well-being. This journey of self-discovery and improvement leads to a deeper understanding of ourselves and a greater sense of confidence in our abilities and potential. Being authentic also means embracing individuality. Each of us has a unique perspective shaped by our experiences, beliefs, and values. Authenticity celebrates this diversity, recognizing that we each have something valuable to offer. When we stay true to ourselves, we bring our unique voice to the world, inspiring others to do the same. We contribute to a culture of acceptance and openness, where people are encouraged to express their true selves rather than conforming to rigid standards. In this way, authenticity is not only a personal choice, but also a contribution to a more inclusive and understanding society. Authenticity can be challenging to maintain, especially when we encounter criticism, judgment, or rejection from others. However, the cost of sacrificing authenticity is far greater than the temporary discomfort of facing disapproval. When we deny our true selves, we risk becoming disconnected from our inner compass, leading to a sense of emptiness and regret. Over time, compromising our authenticity for others can lead to resentment, as we realize that we are living according to someone else's expectations rather than our own. Staying authentic may not always be easy, but it allows us to live with integrity and self-respect, which ultimately brings a sense of fulfillment and peace. Living authentically requires courage and commitment. It means embracing who we are, even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. It means setting boundaries to protect our values and standing up for our beliefs, even when it's challenging. By staying true to ourselves, we cultivate a life that feels meaningful and aligned with our deepest aspirations. Authenticity is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of self-discovery, growth, and self-acceptance. In conclusion, authenticity is essential for a life of fulfillment, connection, and purpose. By embracing our true selves, we build a foundation of trust, self-respect, and resilience that allows us to navigate life's challenges with integrity and confidence. Sacrificing authenticity may seem easier in the short term, but it ultimately leads to a life that feels untrue and unsatisfying. When we live authentically, we experience a profound sense of freedom and self-worth, knowing that we are living in alignment with our values and unique gifts. By honoring our authenticity, we not only enrich our own lives, but also inspire others to do the same, creating a world where everyone feels empowered to be themselves. Boundaries are essential to leading a balanced, respectful, and fulfilling life. They serve as guidelines that define what we are comfortable with, how we want to be treated, and what we value most in our relationships, work, and personal life. Boundaries protect our emotional and mental health by creating clear lines between our needs and the needs of others, allowing us to maintain a strong sense of self-respect and autonomy. Without boundaries, we risk becoming overwhelmed, drained, and even resentful, as we may find ourselves constantly giving in to others at the expense of our own well-being. Setting and honoring boundaries is not only an act of self-respect, but also a way to foster healthier, more sustainable relationships with others. The importance of boundaries begins with self-awareness. To establish meaningful boundaries, we need to understand our own values, needs, and limitations. This self-awareness allows us to define what is acceptable and what is not, giving us the clarity and confidence to communicate our limits to others. When we are clear on our values, we are better able to protect them, making decisions that align with who we are and what we believe in. This level of self-knowledge strengthens our relationships, as it enables us to express our needs openly and assertively, fostering mutual respect and understanding. Boundaries are often misunderstood as barriers that separate us from others. In reality, they are tools that allow us to engage with others in a way that respects both our needs and theirs. Boundaries are not about pushing people away or shutting down connections. Rather, they are about creating a foundation for healthy, respectful interactions. They allow us to say yes without resentment and no without guilt, creating relationships based on trust and honesty rather than obligation or fear. Boundaries empower us to show up authentically in our relationships, knowing that we are not compromising our values or sacrificing our well-being to please others. In relationships, boundaries are crucial for maintaining individuality and preventing codependency. When we lack boundaries, we may become overly invested in another person's needs or opinions, often at the expense of our own. This can lead to unhealthy dynamics where one person constantly gives and the other takes, resulting in an imbalance that can strain the relationship. By setting boundaries, we communicate that while we care about the other person, we also prioritize our own needs and well-being. This balance creates a foundation for a healthier relationship where both people feel valued and respected. Boundaries are also essential in the workplace, where pressures to perform, meet deadlines, and please colleagues can be intense. Without boundaries, we may find ourselves taking on too many tasks, working excessive hours, or sacrificing our personal time and health to meet job demands. This can lead to burnout, a condition that not only harms our productivity but also impacts our mental and physical health. Setting boundaries at work, such as not answering emails after a certain hour or declining tasks beyond our capacity, helps us maintain a sustainable workload. These boundaries allow us to perform at our best while also ensuring that we have time to recharge and pursue our interests outside of work. Creating boundaries can be challenging, especially in a culture that often rewards selflessness and going the extra mile. Many people feel guilty for setting boundaries, fearing that they will be perceived as selfish or uncaring. However, it's important to remember that boundaries are not acts of selfishness, they are acts of self-care. By setting boundaries, we are not only protecting our own well-being, but also setting an example for others, encouraging them to respect their own limits. Boundaries teach others how to treat us and help us avoid feelings of resentment or frustration that can arise when our needs are ignored or overlooked. Communication is a key component of effective boundary setting. Boundaries are only effective if we communicate them clearly and assertively. This means expressing our needs and limits in a respectful yet firm way, without apologizing or justifying our choices. Assertive communication allows us to convey our boundaries while maintaining respect for the other person, fostering a space where both parties can express their needs openly. When we communicate our boundaries clearly, we help others understand our expectations and make it easier for them to respect our limits. By practicing assertive communication, we reinforce our boundaries and strengthen our relationships. One of the greatest challenges with boundaries is enforcing them consistently. Setting boundaries is only the first step. We must also be willing to uphold them, even when it's difficult. To a friend's request, declining extra responsibilities at work, or stepping away from situations that compromise our well-being. Enforcing boundaries may require us to face uncomfortable emotions, such as guilt or fear of disappointing others. However, each time we stand by our boundaries, we reinforce our commitment to our well-being and self-respect. By staying consistent, we also teach others that our boundaries are important and that we expect them to be honored. Boundaries are not static, they can change over time as we grow and evolve. What we needed in one stage of life may differ from what we need in another. For example, we may need stronger boundaries around work-life balance during a busy career phase, or more personal space in a new relationship. Regularly revisiting and adjusting our boundaries allows us to stay aligned with our current values and needs. This adaptability ensures that our boundaries continue to serve us as we move through different phases of life, helping us navigate new challenges and maintain balance. Learning to set and respect boundaries also enhances self-confidence and self-worth. Each time we uphold a boundary, we affirm our worthiness of respect and care. Boundaries remind us that our needs are valid and that we deserve to have them met. This self-respect radiates into other areas of our life, allowing us to approach challenges with confidence and engage in relationships that are mutually respectful and supportive. By valuing ourselves, we attract people who value us too, creating a network of relationships that reinforce our sense of self-worth. In situations where boundaries are repeatedly ignored, it may be necessary to reconsider the relationship or environment. Constant boundary violations are a sign that others do not respect our needs or values, and remaining in such situations can be harmful. Choosing to step away from toxic relationships or unhealthy environments is an act of self-respect, a recognition that our well-being is more important than maintaining connections that drain us. In the long run, surrounding ourselves with people who honor our boundaries leads to a more positive, empowering, and fulfilling life. In conclusion, boundaries are essential to living a balanced, authentic life. They protect our well-being, foster respectful relationships, and empower us to pursue our goals without compromising our values. Setting and maintaining boundaries may be challenging, but the benefits are well worth the effort. By honoring our limits, we create a life that feels aligned with who we are and what we value most. Boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges to a life that respects our needs, nurtures our growth, and brings us closer to our truest selves. They are acts of self-care, reminders that we are worthy of respect, and that our needs matter just as much as anyone else's.